Hey students, my name is Professor Turkington.
And I'm Professor Christiansen.
And we are going to be your instructors for the SmartPrep program. We wanted to take just a quick moment to introduce what the program is and how you're going to navigate everything from getting started to taking your T's. So we just wanted to introduce you to some of the specifics that you're going to be using and show you a little bit more about that in this video. But to get us started, we're going to have Ashley explain what exactly the SmartPrep program is and why it's important.
Okay, so the SmartPrep program is important because this is preparing you to take the TEAS exam. So at the end of SmartPrep, you will be taking the TEAS exam for the third time. And so it goes through 4 modules that we'll discuss later, and it's going to be similar to the TEAS. And so really take it seriously, and it will help you prepare to take the TEAS exam. That's what it's designed for.
Exactly. So in this video, we're going to cover everything you need, like we said. We're going to show you where you can find your codes to log in, how to use the website, and what to do once you are done. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so now we're going to move on and show you just a quick tutorial of how to use SmartPrep in ATI, because we've had a lot of students in the past have some trouble with it, and we know that it's not exactly the most intuitive, so we wanted to just give you a quick preview of what it's going to look like when you're actually working in the program. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is to make sure that you are in the right course. You will have under your courses the SmartPrep course once you are enrolled, and just check to make sure that you have you're in the right course when you're looking at it. We're just doing this in a template shell, so this isn't what yours is going to look like, but make sure that you're in the right course. And when you come to your home page, you're going to see a list of announcements. And the first thing that we want to point out is always read the announcements. We both post announcements at least once a week, and with any important information. I know that a lot of students tend to ignore those, but absolutely do not ignore the announcements.
Yes, take a look at the announcements, and also take a look at the modules and how they're set up in the gradebook. And so one thing that you will notice, and we'll talk a little bit more about this later, is it's set up in 4 modules, like we said: reading, science, math, and English. And so take a look at that so you will know exactly what to do. You want to make sure that you do the pre-test, and then you stop, and then you take the post-test. It will set up like a customized learning plan for you, but just kind of take a look at that, because it will guide you with your instruction and kind of what you have to do each week. Also pay close attention to the getting started, what is SmartPrep, study guide help, instructor contact information. Take a look at those just so you're really familiar with that, and then reach out with any questions that you have. One thing we'll talk about a little bit later is any questions that you have within Canvas or about SmartPrep in general, you will come to us. But if you're having technical issues with SmartPrep, you're going to be going to ATI, and they're fantastic. They're really helpful. And so one thing that I want to make sure students understand is we can't access your ATI account. So Professor Turkington and I can't go in and see anything that's happening within ATI. And so those kind of things, we will direct you to ATI. But anything with Canvas or what you've completed, that kind of thing, we can direct you. And we will also be updating our grade books frequently or weekly, so you can kind of see where you're at on your scores.
Okay, now that you have a little bit of a better understanding about what SmartPrep is, why it's important, and what you're going to be looking for, we want to show you how to actually get started on your work. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is to come under your home page, or your home tab here, and go to Module 1 and click Getting Started. This is going to be the place that you start no matter where you are, what time you're accessing this. You have to come here first. And the video that you're watching right now will be embedded in here, as well as shared in a few other places. So as you can see, you must be watching this, and if you are, good job. But this video is going to explain a little bit about everything, but read through this after you've watched the video. The first thing that you're going to want to do is click on the link to go to atitesting.com. And that's going to bring you to this website here. It'll look a little different when you first log in, but follow this step-by-step guide to log into your account and to create your account if you haven't done that already. And then you're going to need to access or to enter your product ID and password. We'll show you what that looks like on ATI in just a moment. It's going to be in the form of a TUT code. It's going to consist of numbers. We just have X's here as placeholders because each section is going to have their own specific code and password. Be sure to look for that and input that in ATI. You cannot access any of your material until you've input the code, and this will be on your Getting Started page. Like we said, this is just a placeholder, but make sure you check for your specific code. Sometimes they can be a little bit slow in coming to us, so if you don't see it immediately on the first day of class, don't worry about it. We'll be sure to let you know, but that's been a little bit slow in the past, right, Ashley? We've had a few issues with that, but not too many, right?
Yes. Yeah, sometimes it can take up to a week. And so the first week, if you, for some reason, don't have your code, just take a look at everything, go through all the modules, go through all the getting started, and don't be stressed and be thinking, I'm behind in the course if we haven't received those codes, because we request those from ATI, so it just takes them about a week to get them back to us. So don't stress, but take that time during the first week to get introduced to the first module and the different getting started guides. But yeah, they can take a minute on those, and so don't stress about that. And we'll post announcements about that.
Yeah, and as we said a minute ago, if you do have any questions on the ATI side, here is their phone number under the Getting Started tab. You can give them a call, and they work really well with students. I've had a lot of success with students that have had issues, so don't hesitate to give them a call. And then be sure to read through our Intro to SmartPrep infographic here. You can also download it. We have that a download link in another page, but read through all this. We're not going to read through it all with you. This basically covers everything we're talking about. So if you have a quick question that you need to refer back to, this is the place that you would come, because it answers all of your questions. Now we're going to show you what it looks like to log in and actually get started in ATI. So after you've got your class's TUT code and the password, you're going to click on ATI testing, and it will take you to ATI. Once you've gone through and logged in, some of you might already have an account. You might need to create one. Once you've done that, you're going to come to ATI's homepage, which will look something like this. Now, when you first get started, you're not going to have any of this recent activity. This is my student account, so it has information on things that I've been working on. So under the Home tab, you will see recent activity that you've been doing once you get started, but your first login, you shouldn't see anything here. But Home is not where we're going to spend most of our time. You're going to want to click on the My ATI tab. And again, this is after you've created your account. And bear with the system, sometimes it takes a while. So yeah, the system, everyone has issues with the system. It's always a little bit slow, so don't worry about that. But once you are in here, make sure you are on the Learn tab. You'll see that there are a bunch of other tabs here. You might or might not have all of these. Make sure you're under the Learn tab and then click Add Product. This is where you're going to enter the TUT code for your class. This is going to give you access to your material. So you will not see anything in here until you have done this, and make sure you are checking for your specific class code and not borrowing it from somebody else or basing it off of an old announcements, because we've had a few issues with students in the past using the wrong code and we don't end up seeing their information. I'm sure you've seen that quite a bit too, right, Ashley?
Yeah, I've seen that where sometimes they'll find an old code or get a code from someone or from a campus, and it's not the updated code, and so then we aren't able to see your scores, and so it can cause issues. So it's super, super critical that you wait until you get those scores from us. We will post those in the announcements and also in the Getting Started.
Yep.
And we will let you know when we have those. But yeah, don't just find the code and go in, or else we won't be able to view your scores.
Yeah,
and
we won't see any of your information. So once you have input your code, you are now going to see some menu options here. Again, I'm not sure exactly which ones you're going to see because I'm still technically using a faculty account in a student view, so you might have some or a few of these. But what you're going to want to look for is ATIT SmartPrep or ATIT SmartPrep 2.0. The reason we say or is that ATI is currently updating their system and some things are changing in there, so one or both of those options might be available. We will let you know in your specific class which one it's going to be. It's just, as of recording this, ATI is in the process of sort of updating and redoing the back end of things, so the specific title might change, but it's still going to be one of the two ATIT SmartPrep, so we will let you know which one specifically to click on. All right, now that you have been able to log in and use your TUT code to get access, this is what it's going to look like when you click on your ATIT SmartPrep. You're going to be greeted with 4 modules here. Now keep in mind that the order they're listed on, or in ATI here, is not the order that we need to be working on them. Check your syllabus and the modules page in Canvas to know exactly when which modules are due, but just to clarify, do not go off the order that they're found here. So the first thing you're going to want to do when you start with a module is click Begin Module. This is going to take you to your pretest. You must do the pretest before you have access to any of the other information and material, including the post-tests. So you will not be able to see anything in a module until you've taken the test. You'll see that it's basically just a multiple choice test that is pretty easy to use. You shouldn't have any technical issues. Just take your time to go through and answer as best you can, because how you do here sets up the next section, which we're going to have Ashley explain in just a moment when I show you what it looks like after your pretest. So if you give us just a minute here to load. Ashley, why don't you start explaining what the plan of study is while I get this up?
Yes. So after you complete your pretest, you will go into the module, and what it will do, it will have your personalized learning plan. And what it's doing is it's actually customized for you. And so it's going to have questions based on how you did on your responses. And so one thing we want to emphasize is any of the questions that are here could potentially be on the TEAS exam. So take those seriously. So you'll go through the 4 modules: English, reading, science, and math. And then you will complete those, and then it will take you to the next area, which is going to be the post-test. You do have 2 options to take the post-test, so 2 different times that you can take it. But yeah, that's what you will be doing in there.
Exactly. So one thing that we want to point out in the studies is, depending, as Ashley said, depending on how well you do, you might see a lot or very few questions in or sections in your study plan. If you want to see all of them, you'll notice up here where it says study plan, click on full, and that under contents will give you access to every single section no matter what you did. If you just want to focus on the things that you got wrong, your personalized plan under contents is going to have the sections just that you got wrong. So be sure to take advantage of that if you want to study even the things you did well. Once you have finished that, you're going to click Launch Post-Test. Now keep in mind that you will not have access to the post-test until you have gone through all the material like we just showed you here, and there will be quizzes, little quizzes at the end of each section. So you will not be able to click this button until you've completed that, but once you do, launch the post-test and it will function basically the same as the pre-test, but these are the ones you need to complete to be able to move on. Now that you know how to use ATI a little bit better and you understand how the pre and post tests work, we just want to go over with you some of the resources you have available back in Canvas. So we're back here in Canvas under our SmartPrep page, or our SmartPrep class under the home page. If you come back down to Module 1, you're going to see we already showed you Getting Started. Again, that's where you find your TUT code and how to log into ATI. But beyond that, we also have a few more resources available to you. So this is the What is SmartPrep? This basically covers everything we've showed you in this video, but in written form. It's a step-by-step process on logging in, setting up your account. So you'll see the screenshots here show you exactly what you need in case you just want a quick reference. So this will cover everything you need, basically, that this video is in written form. The next thing that you want to be aware of is the study guide and help page. As we mentioned before, there are several resources that will help you to do the best you can on your TEAS exam, and we're confident that you can pass it. We just want to make sure that you know that there are a lot of resources available. And the first one on here, we're not going to explain this in depth because we do have a video on it, is BrainFuse. This isn't just available to SmartPrep students. This is something that you have access to basically in all of your classes. But if you feel like you need more help or different help, because sometimes the way a specific program or testing center gives you their information doesn't work with you, if you want sort of a different flavor, we really encourage you to use BrainFuse. So go ahead and watch that video. It's only about 10-15 minutes long to learn how to use that. But that should be your go-to resource beyond just the study plan. So take some time to look through this. There's also a TEAS study book that a lot of students have found useful. The Amazon link is right here. The prices will vary depending on availability, but that's what the cover looks like. If you want an actual book to study through, that is a really good choice. I know that a lot of students have used that in the past, and you've glanced through it too, right, Ashley?
Yes. I purchased this one and looked through it, and it also has some practice tests, some online resources, and it really just walks you through the concepts that are going to be on that TEAS exam. So I recommend that one. If you don't like that one, there are several options to choose from, but that's one that we both have looked at and felt like it had some really good resources available. So
And other students have actually reached out to me to say that they really liked it as well.
yeah, I really like how it's set up. It's really set up simply, and so and you might find if you finish everything and you're thinking maybe I'm not ready for the TEAS exam, that's a really good option, because like we said, it's super critical that you take it seriously so then you pass that TEAS exam the next time. So
But luckily, like we said, there are a lot of resources. So they even have one-on-one tutoring available through BrainFuse if you're looking for something like that. So we are here, both of us, to help make sure you have access to all of this information. We're really here not to just sit back and grade, but to sort of facilitate your success. And that's one of the things we want to get clear is we're both here, we're on your team to help you succeed. We know you can do that. As long as you're reaching out to us with questions and staying involved, we're almost certain that you're going to pass with a great score. Now, one thing to note, once you have finished all of your modules and your scores are in, you're going to want to be aware of the testing procedure and how that works once you have finished. So I'm going to hand that off to Ashley really quick to explain what happens once you have finished your last module.
yes, perfect. So yes, once you've finished your last module, we will be updating those scores, and then Professor Turkington and I will be sending a spreadsheet to what's called our enrollment team, and that's going to be the end of week 15. So your course ends on week 15. That's going to be on a Thursday, and so the Friday morning, it's okay if you don't know the exact dates, we will send that date or that list to the enrollment team. And then once they get that enrollment team, they're going to reach out to you either that weekend or early the next week, and they're going to schedule you for your exams. One thing to be aware of is there's only going to be 4 different times that you're going to be able to take the exam, so you're going to need to be kind of flexible that week, but they will reach out to you. We do have students that finish SmartPrep, and sometimes they finish early because this is self-paced, and then they reach out to us and they're like, I'm done, I finished everything, can I hurry and take the TEAS exam? That's not how it works. You have to wait and go through this procedure, and there's just going to be 4 dates during week 16 that you're able to take that TEAS exam. So we just want to make sure that you're aware of that, and they will be coordinating that with you. We won't be coordinating or scheduling or doing anything with the TEAS exam. That's going to be going through a separate department, but we will be giving them the list of when you complete. So if you haven't completed SmartPrep by that deadline, we will post those deadlines, then you are not going to be allowed to take the TEAS exam. And so you have to finish by that deadline, or it'll be kind of a sad day. So make sure that you do that, and that's kind of how the testing procedure works.
Yeah, so again, even if you finish early, we don't have any control over when you can take the test. That's just at the very end. So if you do decide to finish early, be sure to go back and check out the study help so that you can keep your mind fresh, just with a little bit of study each week. That should just about cover everything you need to know about SmartPrep. As we just showed you, all of these tabs are going to have all the information we are sharing with you in this video, but in written form. So if you ever have any questions, be sure to go back and take a look at all this information, because chances are any question you have will have been covered somewhere in here. However, if you do need to reach out to us, we are always available. If you click on the instructor contact info, you're going to see both of our contact information. So our names, emails, cell phone numbers, and usually when we're available. One thing to remember is that if you're sending an email, try and do it from either your school email or within Canvas, just so that we don't get any sort of flagged emails or anything like that. Because if you send it from a personal email, sometimes the system can send it to junk. So just make sure you're using your school system messages to reach out to us. But we're always available, and that's one thing that we want to really emphasize is that this isn't something scary or intimidating, that there's plenty of information here, we have plenty of time to work on it, and that we are here to help make sure you are able to succeed. And that's what we really want you to remember at the end of the day, is that you can do this, and we are ready and willing to help. So we just both wish you good luck, right, Ashley?
Yes, we want you to be successful. We're both here to help you be successful. There's a lot of resources, like you said, and anything that we can do to help you, let us know. For example, if you can't reach Professor Turkington, reach out to me. If you can't reach me, reach out to him. We're both here, and we want you to be successful. One of the best things that happens is at the end of the course is when a student will email me and say, hey, I got a passing score, or I got the score, thank you so much. That's something that really means a lot to both of us, because we want you to be successful. So, and just quickly, when we're talking about at the end of the course, the enrollment team is going to be the ones that reach out to you. And so someone will reach out to you after you finish SmartPrep. So don't be stressed out thinking, what do I do now? But someone will reach out to you. But yes, we want you to be successful, and we're excited for you to make it through this course.
And with that, we will leave you to your studies. And once again, just remember to reach out to us if you have any questions. But otherwise, we wish you all the best, and we look forward to working with you. See you later.